Greetings, YouTube. The doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons, and welcome to the channel that brings power gaming to the next level. Today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we are talking about the spell Divine Word. I'm giving this a B for a very specific reason. If it didn't have this one thing in it, I probably would end up giving it probably the highest a C, maybe even a D. But it's got one thing in it that really redeems it. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I've got another video out. All right. Divine Word, 7th level spell, is only usable by clerics. Could be used by bards with magical secrets. It is a bonus action casting time. So we like that. That does bring up the grade of the spell that I give it. But just remember, if you cast this as a bonus action, you can't cast another first level or higher spell. The other spell that you have to cast has to be a cantrip. So just keep that in mind. Has a range of 30 feet, a verbal component only. Range of 30 feet is kind of a misnomer. It is a 30-foot radius. So you utter a word of you utter a divine word, imbued with the power, shape the world at the dawn of creation. Choose any number of creatures that you can see within range. So you get to choose the creatures within range, within 30 feet. Each creature that can hear you doesn't say it has to understand you. It just says it has to hear you. They've got to make a charisma saving throw. So that's a good choice for players. On a failed save, a creature suffers an effect based on current hit points. So 50 or fewer, they're deafened, which really is not awesome. They automatically fail any ability check that requires hearing, which is essentially perception. So 40 points or fewer, deafened and blinded for 10 minutes. This one's the big one. So they've got disadvantage on their attacks, and you have advantage on your attacks. And they can't, they automatically fail any check that requires sight. 30 or fewer, blinded, deafened, stunned. Stunned is a good one. Automatically fail strength and dexterity checks. That's awesome. And then 20 or fewer points, killed instantly. Here is the sentence that brings, this in itself is just okay. This is the sentence that brings the spell up to a B. Regardless of its current hit points, a celestial, an elemental, a fae, or a fiend that fails its save is forced back to a plane of origin if it isn't already there and cannot return to your current plane for 24 hours by any means short of a wish. That is, if they can get back. Not all creatures have plane shift. Not all these creatures have plane shift. So if you send a elemental creature back and it doesn't have plane shift, well, it can't get back for 24 hours if it has the ability to do it. But if it doesn't, then it's just stuck. It's gone. So that ends a combat pretty easily. So one of the instances where I can see where this spell is very useful is if you are in a mass combat. You're the cleric that's going forward and you're getting into that fray, you need to have a decent armor class or something that is going to halfway protect you so that you can cast this spell and target the largest number of creatures possible. If there's a lot of fiends or a lot of elementals or fae, then blast them and they're gone. So, however, if they're from your plane, because you can have fae from your plane, then, I mean, it's not going to work. So the other thing that I can think of that is useful for this is if you can coordinate with your group, with your party members, as to a strategy for using this spell. If you're going to plan on using this spell, then you need to have a kind of strategy going where either you or other party members are going to do a lot of damage, and then you're going to blast this out as a bonus action to wipe out anything that's left over. So it's kind of that 1-2 punch, kind of that boxer's combo. So Fireball comes to mind. That's a good spell. Cleric domains to think about. Well, the light domain gets this thing called Radiance of Dawn, Channel Divinity. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and any magical darkness within 30 feet is dispelled. Additionally, each hostile creature within 30 feet of you must make a con save. Con save is not the best save in the world. A creature takes radiant damage equal to 2d10 plus your cleric level. So at this level here, you are at least 13th level when you're casting this spell, which means on average this is going to be 24 points of damage on a failed save and half as much on a successful one. So right off the bat, you can use your action to blast out that Radiance of the Dawn, do as much damage as you can, and then blast this out as a bonus action. A creature that has total cover is not affected. Also, you could, because Divine Word is not a concentration spell, you could have Spirit Guardians up at the same time and be doing damage with this plus this. This, once it's up, doesn't require you to do anything. You could blast with this and then Divine Word out. And you can use this Radiance of the Dawn because it's a channel divinity. It's not a spell. Blast it out with Spirit Guardians and then start picking things off with Divine Word if possible. But if you've just got a bunch of elemental or a bunch of fae or fiends or whatever, just blast this spell out and it'll get rid of most of them. Especially if you're in like a boss fight with a bunch of minions, you can blast the minions away very quickly and then move forward against the boss so that, say, the Gloomstalker doesn't have to waste their initial attacks or some of their other attacks that come afterwards against minions. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.